Hi, friends. It's Leah Carey from the Good Girls Talk About Sex podcast, and we're back with another COVID Confidential behind closed doors. In today's episode, you're going to meet my friend Meagan, who is isolating in Paris, and she hasn't had touch with another human in over 2 months. She's going to talk about how she feels like she's come back into her body since she stopped doing as many video conference calls. Let's get started. What is your quarantine landscape? Meaning, where are you? Who are you with, if anyone? What's your life look like right now?
So I live in Paris, France, and France has one of the strictest confinement regulations in the world.
You're living by yourself in a small apartment. How long has it been since you've had some kind of human touch?
Ooh, human touch. It's been 2 months. It's been 2
Mhm.
months. Mhm.
So before you went into lockdown, just sort of in quote unquote normal life,
Mhm.
how much touch did you get on a regular basis?
Well, living in France, every time you greet somebody, you give them the bees. So you kiss them on cheek to cheek. With the guy I was seeing, I would see him about once a week.
So now you've gone to no human touch. Do you have an animal in
No,
living with you?
no.
Okay, so really no touch at all. How is that affecting you?
I go through bouts of, extreme fatigue where I just sleep. I find myself kind of drifting into this really abyss that I've never experienced in my entire life. Um, and it can really grate on you. I mean, one thing I've been doing is taking cold showers to kind of wake myself up, and that really enhances I can really feel myself like kind of jolting back into my body. It can really feel at times like I don't exist. I actually wrote on
Mm.
my I wrote on my desk in French, I exist, and the dates, because it was like that's
Wow.
dark it was. It was like, do I exist? So yeah, it's definitely been challenging.
Yeah. And what about your sex drive? Has it gone up, gone down, stayed about the same?
I would say I am definitely not that concerned with sex at this moment. It is, I'd say once every couple of weeks, I get the feelings and the remembrances of
Yeah.
what it was like to be touched by a man and being turned on. The most part, it's getting through the day, doing breathing exercises. I've used a vibrator probably 3 times in the last couple months. Um, 2 of those times, it was almost like I didn't feel it at all.
Mm.
It was like there, but I was just going through the motions.
Yeah.
It is feel like I'm starting to come out of it. Like my body is starting to get used to in some ways this confinement period. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact of me cutting off video calls. They were telling us like, you need to be connected, you need to stay connected to everybody. And so for people who are living alone, it was very much like, okay, that means I need to be on video calls more often, and apps like Marco Polo, Zoom, Google Hangouts, so I was doing all of those. And I've been working from home for about a year and a half anyway. So I've been pretty used to kind of a self-isolation on a daily basis, so this extra contact from the outside world into my home, which was kind of my sanctuary before, was really grating on me in a different way.
Hmm.
So it was actually making me feel like I wasn't in my body even more. And I've been doing a lot of research about it, and they say that it's because when you are talking to somebody, especially if there is some sort of delay in the sound, like your mind thinks that you're with these people and that you're connecting to them, but your body knows that you're not. So that dissonance really creates a sort of an exhaustion unlike anything else. So once I decided, you know what, I'm just going to completely use this time to go into complete hermit mode, with the exception of speaking to you right now. And and my mom and my dad's birthday was yesterday, so I did have FaceTime with them. Since I've done that, I've really felt, I don't know, it was like a back into my body and feeling connected to myself in a way that I haven't felt in a couple months. So
That is fascinating.
yeah.
I'm appreciative that you decided to break your hermitage for this.
Well, it sounded, a part of the ways that I decided how to do it is if it will not just benefit me, but also potentially other people.
So let's take a little bit of a turn and talk about food and your body. What has your relationship with food been during this quarantine? Has it changed at all?
Yes. So I went into this quarantine on the very tail end of what's called a shred. So, excuse me, touching my face. I just washed my hands. So a shred is really when you are getting your body into, I was working out 5 to 6 days a week. I was slowly starting to decrease my food intake. So I was getting down to the best shape of my life, basically, is what I was looking to be. And then the confinement happened, and I was like, "Fuck this shit." Did I say that?
Yeah, totally.
I was like, "Fuck this shit." I was literally, it's a 3-month process, and I was in the last month of it, and I couldn't. I was like, "This is too much." My strictness was out the window for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I was finding solace and comfort in carbs, where my carbs were definitely being taken away at that
Mm-hmm.
point. Where I hadn't been drinking, I hadn't drank for probably 4 months at that point. I started drinking a little bit more.
So you're saying all of this in the past tense. Has it changed again, or are you still in that indulgent space?
Yeah, I'm not, I'm definitely not indulging anymore as much as I was for probably a month. I'm not as strict as I was right before confinement, but I am also not as indulgent as I was in the worst part of
Mm-hmm.
confinement. So crepes have been my savior. Like basically I crepes with butter and like a little bit of honey,
Uh-huh.
and that's like my go-to. Or every once in a while I'll indulge, because in Paris the boulangeries are still open, so
Mm-hmm.
you can go and buy a baguette, or I bought a couple of pastries. I've also indulged in like shrimp, like the poissonnerie, the fish shops are still open and things like that. So when I've ventured outside, I have I'll spend a little bit more on like some of the nicer types of meats or
Mm-hmm.
fish or pastries than I normally would.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way I've been indulging.
Yeah. I find that, I'm not spending money on going out with friends or going to the movies or whatever. So I'm allowing my grocery bills to creep up a little bit with some of those things as well.
Exactly.
Meagan, thank you so much. It's such a joy to get to see you and hear your voice.
Oh, it's so good to see you too. Thank you for this conversation.
If this video has been helpful for you, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment about how you're handling the quarantine. And if you're struggling with this lockdown, I want you to know that I'm here to listen. Go to the link on the screen to get information about my quarantine coaching special. Stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you again soon.